without saying, light up the dark.
Just give me a shout when Danny's here. That's Silver one. Yeah, nice. Okay.
My goodness, it's all look at that.
Bigger every time you see it, doesn't it? Make it easier, yeah.
I feel very nervous about this.
Hi, lady.
Where's Smiley?
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Derek.
Hello, Bran!
And have we got some smiles?
Big green.
Smile. We've got a few. Okay. Thank you.
Their married families. We are here to share with them in their happiness and their hopes for the future. So before we get into the ceremony proper,
A temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides. And when it subsides, you have to make a decision. You have to work out whether your roots are so entwined that it's inconceivable that you should ever part. Because that is what love is. Love is not breathlessness. It is not the promulgation of promises, of eternal passion. It's not the desire to mate every second of the day. No, don't blush. I'm telling you the truth. That is just being in love, which any fool can do. Love itself is what is left over when the being in love has burned away. Now this is both an art and a fortunate accident. Your mother and I had it. We had roots that grew towards each other underground. And when all the pretty blossom fallen from our branches, we found we were one tree, and not two. And that is what love is.
I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare.
that I know not
And I know not
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Christopher John Dent,
why I, Christopher John Bennett,
may not be joined
may not be joined
in matrimony
in matrimony
to Jennifer Louise Gardner.
to Jennifer Louise Gardner.
I do solemnly declare that I know not of any lawful impediment why I, Jennifer Louise Gardner, may not be joined in matrimony to Christopher John.
Summer rain. Bells will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll sing the Isabella. Harps will play, tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay carousella. When the stars make you dream, but you know you're not dreaming, signore. Back on the Bambina when the moon hits your eye like a leaf beats a fire, Samore. When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, Samore. Samore. Bells will Tippy-tippy-tay, like a gay Cinderella. Lucky fella, get the star. You drew us like Faust the Zula, Samore, feet you're in love. When you walk in a dream, but you know you're not dreaming, Signore. That you see back in old Napoli, that's amore.
I do.
You love and respect her. Be honest with her. Stand by her through whatever may come.
I will.
Hold the ring. Jenny, I give you this ring
Jenny, I give you this ring
as a symbol of our marriage
as a symbol of our marriage
and as a reminder
and as a reminder
of the vows
of the vows
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
I call upon these persons
I call upon these persons
here
present
to witness
to witness
that I, Christopher John,
that I, Christopher John Dennett,
do take thee, Jennifer Louise,
do take thee, Jennifer Louise Gardner,
to be my lawful wedded wife.
to be my lawful wedded wife.
All that I am, I give,
All that I am, I give you,
and all that I have, I share.
and all that I have, I share with you.
Whatever the future holds,
Whatever the future holds,
I will love and strengthen,
I will love and strengthen you,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Will you love and respect him, be honest with him, and stand by him through whatever may come?
I will.
Chris, I give you this ring
Friends, I give you this ring
as a symbol of our marriage
as a symbol of our marriage
and as a reminder
and as a reminder
of the vows
of the vows
we have made here today.
we have made here today.
I call upon these persons
I call upon these persons
here present
here present
to witness
to witness
that I, Jennifer Louise Gardner,
that I, Jennifer Louise Gardner,
do take thee, Christopher John,
do take thee, Christopher John Dennett,
to be my lawful wedded husband.
to be my lawful wedded husband.
All that I am,
All
I
that
give,
I am, I give you,
and all that I have, I share.
and all that I have, I share with you.
Whatever the future holds,
Whatever the future holds,
I will love and strengthen
I will love and strengthen you,
as long as we both shall live.
as long as we both shall live.
Now we have another reading by Hannah.
I'd like to find you in the shower and chase the soap for half an hour. I'd like successfully to guess your weight and win you to fate. I'd like to offer you a flower. I like the hair upon your shoulders, falling like water over boulders. I like the shoulders, they're essential. Your collarbones have great potential. I'd like all your particulars and folders marked confidential. I like your cheeks, I like your nose. I like the way your lips disclose the neat arrangement of your teeth, half above and half beneath in rows. I like your eyes, I like their fringes, the way they focus on you give you twinges. Your upper arms drive me berserk. I like the way your elbows work on hinges. I like your wrists, I like your glands, I like the fingers on your hands. I'd like to teach them how to count, and certain things we might exchange, something familiar for something strange. I'd like to give you just the right amount and get some change. I like the sculpture of your ears, I like the way your profile disappears whenever you decide to turn and face me. I'd like to cross two hemispheres and have you chase me. I'd like to smuggle you across frontiers or sail with you at night into Tangiers. I'd like you to embrace me. You're the end of self-abuse. You are my eternal love. I'd like to find a good excuse to call on you and find you in. I'd like to put my hand beneath your chin and see you grin. I'd like you in my confidence. I'd like to be your second look. I'd like to be your preference, and hence, I'd like to be around when you unhook. I'd like to be your only audience. The final name in your appointment book. Your future tense.
Breaking each day of the year, changing my life with the wave of his hand. Nobody can deny that there's something there. They're running my hands through his hair. Both of us thinking how good it can be. Someone is speaking, but he doesn't know she's there. I want him everywhere, and if he's beside me, I know I need never care. For to love him is to meet him everywhere. Knowing that love is to share. Both of us thinking that love never dies. Watching his eyes and knowing I'm always there. I'll be there and everywhere. And everywhere. La 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 la
Been consented to be joined in motion. Witness the same before this company, official witnesses, family and friends, by the giving and receiving of rings, and by making the declarations required by law. We've made a solemn and binding contract with God. It is now my privilege and pleasure to pronounce you husband and wife. Now, what remains is signing the register. So, can you enjoy it?
Focus on whatever's in the middle. This. Why isn't he with his handbag? Yes.
And again. And again. Go this way, Jenny.
Ah, it's not your face. Oh, I'll do that, Mary.
So one more this way.
Lydia, that's yours here. This one? No, that one. Yeah.
I might be splitting hairs here, but I don't back.
What were you playing with the drum?
This way,
Anyway, man, push it.
I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'm not sure what time.
Now, are you a cousin? So how many? Stay there. Right. I'm going to lean back. Right, good there, okay, smile.
Family.
Lovely.
Yeah, they're getting some. 2? Yeah. But everyone's too worried about me losing out on the food. I know.
I don't know, yeah?
Maybe drink it round.
I couldn't read it.
Yeah, Dennis. All right, Dad. Fancy coming up there.
Yeah. Come in the gap. Sorry, I'm spinning out to the floor. Come in a little bit there. That's lovely. Very good. Straight over here. Can you just go out very slightly?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, we haven't had. Where's Ed? We haven't had Ed in this. Come on, boy. We're just behind. There. And can I have the bridesmaids as well? Can I just have the 4 bridesmaids?
Why symmetrical?
No, we haven't got that much time, It's all these
Lily.
Hello.
What's wrong with your hat?
What?
What's wrong with your
I
hat?
can't see where I'm going.
I know.
It's too big.
Oh, right.
But I got it cheap in the sale, so I'm wearing it.
There we are. Three. It's me. It's me, all right, isn't it? Don't do
To the camera, Jenny.
Some of it might be nice.
It's like every other.
Can you drink too much?
You got him pull in,
No, I got confetti all over the camera.
Didn't get there.
Hang on. I'll go on then.
Where is she?
I've got the wind direction.
You've got the wind behind you.
I'll open the
My hands are soft as
Oh, very nice.
It's an Ibiza phone party.
No, they're great.
Oh, look, Jane.
Flowers everywhere. Oh, that's beautiful. Right.
Again. Addictive.
I didn't get it.
I didn't mean it.
You're looking this way. Can you bring your head round? Yeah. Plenty of bubbles. Where are the bubbles? If you've got all.
The boy.
Elephants!
Just background noise. This is background noise. We're going to think of some.
Don't be I can only see half of you.
Can be on the side of the hat. There we go. Jaunty. Yeah, that's it. Your dainty bottom.
Get the wide lens out.
No, just
That's about it.
Thank you.
Abby! Just come on. That's who they are.
Martin.
Oh, listen.
Oh, well, they've got jobs.
Have you found it?
That's a nice group, isn't it?
Well spread out.
Yeah.
Dad, you found Neil in that lot?
No, on his other shop. I just wanted close to that.
Yeah, it's recording now. Just thought I'd get everybody in while they were enjoying their coffee.
Something on the stage behind us at 7:30, starting off as a barn dance and then proceeding to general kind of good music. You will gradually notice the smell of a pig roast drifting in through the doors, which is through there, and that will be about 9 o'clock. And then at 10 o'clock the band changes to a disco, which will be doing sort of 60s to 90s decent music. Almost as good as yours, Derek. Thank God. The meal that you've just eaten, there's one little thing that I also forgot to mention, and that is that apart from the nuts, because you can't get many of those in Britain, apart from the nuts, everything you've just eaten was English from the West Country. English. English. And the champagne you're about to be drinking actually comes from Hampshire. Firstly, there's one very important lady who can't be with us tonight, I'm afraid. Her name is Joyce, and she'll be looking at you through the eye of that little camera over there. So can I just ask you, just to start with, could you just raise your glasses and toast to Joyce? That really was an excellent meal. She's been pretty busy this last few weeks. She made the cake, she made the dress, she's had more than a hand in making the bridesmaids' dresses. She's been very involved with everything you see in front of you. So without Lily, none of this would have happened. And I have to say that. When Jenny and Chris asked me to read that passage from Captain Corelli's Mandolin, I sort of looked at the words, I thought, there's some complicated words in there for a start. I missed those out. But I may not use those words exactly, but the sentiment is right, isn't it? And many of you have got very long and happy marriages, and I certainly am blessed with that. So, she's the perfect foil for Jenny. She's the one that sort of keeps the artistic creation within reason and makes it happen on time. Very much the artistic director, while Jenny is the artistic creator and dreamer. One spends, the other one says, "Oh, hold on, we've got to have a budget." Organiser in chief, and again, much of what's happened today wouldn't have happened without Sam. So I'm very grateful for that. I'm particularly grateful. I'm very grateful for one thing in particular, though, and that is that when this wedding malarkey first got suggested, it was going to be a themed wedding, and I was asked to dress in green tights. There was and I have a penchant for putting them on occasionally, only in carnivals. Sam was the one who recognised So thank you for that, Sam. Which was really nice.
And John has wearing tights up.
I learned afterwards that John also put his foot down. No way am I wearing that.
They want it blue.
In John and Janet Dennett, this also wouldn't have happened without them today, and I think we've gained two friends, as well as a son-in-law. It actually turned out that when we got to know John and Janet, Lynn had actually worked with them, or worked with John anyway, some many years earlier, hadn't you?
Sorry, keep it quiet.
Yeah. I'll bring it out in the open. It's been quite an interesting time watching Jen and Chris after their first year at university coming home, a bit despondent and hadn't been the greatest socialite in the world, so they go off to... I didn't mean it like that. So they go off to the local nightclub in Yeovil, meet each other and haven't stopped seeing each other ever since. The only time I really worried about Chris was when I read one of his books that he writes, and I see a cartoon family in there called Liddy, Derek, Sam, Jenny and Tess. Tess is the name of our dog, by the way. And then there's Jenny. It's traditional at this time that the father tells you all the embarrassing things that happened to Jenny over the last two and a bit decades. But I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to tell you about how she flirted with Brian Lambert when she was 2 years old. It embarrassed him so much. And I'm not going to tell you about the time we took a cross-channel ferry to France on a hovercraft. And she was ill so often that there was a whip round of all the sick bags on the hovercraft to keep us going for the rest of the journey. And I'm not going to tell you about when she snored all the way through a New Year's party. Basically, that service this afternoon, a happy, joyous service this afternoon, just made me feel proud. And I was chuffed to bits with it. I was chuffed to bits with your ideas of bringing those elements of that service together. And I thank you all for coming to share it with us. So can I ask you to raise your glass to Jenny and Chris. Jenny and Chris.
No introduction, but Chris now will do a speech.
I have a lot of thank yous to say, and then a little soppy bit. If you're feeling nauseous at all, the end bit, that'd be really. It's a bit like Gwyneth Paltrow at the Oscars. Right, so I'd like to thank Derek and Liddy for, well, financing. A little help from my parents. My mum did one of the trees as well. Which one was it, Mum? They moved it. If you want to see it, Yeah, I've ever since I started going around to Jenny's house for meals and things, it's been feeding me up. Especially since Jenny and Sam were vegetarians to start with, so I used to go around and have a cow or something. But they're not vegetarians anymore. So I get less of a slice. So maybe. Yeah. No. I'm gone. Thank you for my mother and father-in-law. My mother-in-law. No. I should also thank my parents over here that have helped a little bit. Financially and otherwise, of course, tree decorating. I was browsing through brochures of Morecambe or Cornwall or something for honeymoon like that, and me and Jenny getting very excited about Morecambe. And Mum phoned up and said, "Do you fancy going to the Maldives for honeymoon?" So 10, 12 seconds. For Morecambe, but we changed our minds later on. We're going to thank you then for the honeymoon. We'll be going tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
We'll see you then.
You're all invited. Gatwick, 9 o'clock. So thank you to them. Okay. Now, read off me being that sort of thing. Thank you to the bridesmaids, first of all. Sam is head bridesmaid. He wanted me to point this out. Doing a wonderful job and organising everything as well. So he's sitting in the wrong place and I think Sam's wrong. Alright, organising this all, decorating all the bridesmaids helped. Some of the bridesmaids' boyfriends as well. Up the balls from Mr. Andrew. Any holly you see around, James Stoll, Nathan Garden, police are with us. James is with us. I have some little presents to give out to the bridesmaids. You'll be glad to know. And also to my mother and father-in-law. We'll hand these out.
Okay, have you finished?
They're quite similar, so if you two open them all at the same time, they could be in the wrong boxes. I wrap myself, but I am to wrapping what iced tea is to wrapping. Okay, thank you very much for bridesmaids. I think everyone agreed they look very lovely tonight. Buxom! I'm another person to thank. He's sitting down there. For organising everything today and getting everything sorted out and me throwing everything. We told him he was master submarines about 2-3 hours before the wedding. He doesn't know yet, but he's singing a solo. Also, taking me out on stag night and woke up in the right country, in some of my clothes, with all my hair, all of my digits, and remarkable. I will be losing most of my hair this evening, shave it off. But with the clippers, we got a video, you see, so... She hasn't watched it, so it'll be a bit of a crew cut with a C in the middle. So any photos, it's the last time. Come on then. I have a present for Ed. Oh. Yeah.
Do you want to open these?
Open them. Yours is fairly similar as well. I'm going to say my imagination was a bit... softy, all right? So sit back under your seats. Put your head between your legs. I don't know what happened, but so I filed this on my little page here. Why I love Jenny. I told you. Okay, number 1. A few pages. Because she can do the best. I've got no picture. She can do the best mock impression I've ever seen. I'm sure she'll show you that. All right. Pea jokes. Can we just have one pea joke, please?
What's this?
I love the way Jenny tells jokes. She starts off as a man, and then she tells a punchline, and then she tells the rest of the joke. The punchline was at the front. All right. It's always nice, no surprises. This brings me on to number 4. Giving presents, surprises. Classic case in London a little while ago. Jenny got me a Christmas present. She goes, "Oh, I've got your Christmas present." It's us, no. That's not the first one. Round there. I thought, it was a lovely white fish. That's a beautiful fish. Whose fish is that? No, it wasn't bad. Optimistic. That's what I'm down to number 5. She believes. She likes to believe in everything. She likes to, really get involved, and it's, doesn't like look on the downside of it. Example is, went to the circus not so long ago, and this guy, there was a few people, and he was on the wire, and he was actually wearing laundry baskets, 2 bags over his head like that. He was walking along the wire, and fell like that. Jenny's on the end of the scene. He's down the bloke, you have to carry on. Carry on like that. And she's really worried him like this. I'm like, we had this big argument. I say, look, you can't pose, you've got to do it every night of your life like that. No, really didn't want to do that, but they made it. Funnily enough, though, the circus went to a few other towns that our friends in, and we all met up, things like that. And they were saying, you see that guy with the laundry basket? And it fell off. And it was, though, Jenny goes, shows how tricky it was. Number 6. I'll skip through this because it's very toxic. It's the most beautiful person I've met. Number 7. Sorry now, James, you're under. Okay. She cries, the very romantic sort of person. She cries at sort of films like Schindler's List or something like that, but really sets her off. It's those high space scenes like that. You can't stop falling after Carla comes on after pull her out. That's why I'm not telling you anymore. It's too much for the advert. Okay, that's number 7. Number 8, she put up with me. She puts up with me. Particularly, just shortly after we met, I got meningitis. I was in hospital, and I was like the Exorcist, big grinning face, my tongue was sticking out, head spinning round, bile everywhere. So it's very good. Yeah. Jenny spoke to my parents and they said, I don't think you should go in there. It's not pretty. But she goes, no, you can't be that bad. She went in and I had sort of big patches of beard all over my face. I drove beard. Yeah, she saw me and she managed to stomach the swelling vomits. demonstration in this dress, but it's, she's getting excited. She really wants to go out. She does a special dance. I'm not sure anyone knows. I'll give a slight demonstration. It's generally a shaken Stevens. Anyone else has seen that dance? I love that dance. You might see it later on in the you won't see the knees. That's pretty much it. Tracy, I love you. But I didn't think that was enough. I thought I could say some even softer. So what's what? I thought, which is softest film I see? And I got it in the head, and I thought there must be a soppy line. Soppy line. Because you have to imagine I'm Julia Roberts. Jenny is Hugh Grant. Okay, I've got to get this right now, it's tricky. I'm just a girl, standing in front of a boy, asking him to love her. Alright, that's about it for me. I'd just like to thank everybody here for coming. And, you say it's not clapping, we'll all clap on the top table. And I wasn't quite sure, I did have a quick look at a little book saying what you're supposed to do in speeches to you, but I wasn't quite sure, so I have a list. Now, I do a lot of repeating after today in the wedding service, so I think everyone should repeat after me. It's going to be a big toast, lots of people, alright, have everyone here. Okay, can you raise your glasses, please? And repeat after me. Alright, you ready? To Jenny. To Jenny. To Ed. To Ed. To Sam. To Sam. To Faye. To Faye. To Vic. To Vic. To Shiv. To Shiv. To John. To John. To Jan. To Jan. To Liddy. To Liddy. To Derek. To Derek. To everyone. To everyone.
Frozen pea.
All I really wanted to do was say thank you to John and Jan. I've known them since the first fatal week when Chris was lying in hospital and Jan said, don't go in there. Don't go in there. And I really should have listened. And I kept coming and it all worked out in the end. And John was a bit worried when he met me because he asked me, so do you play any sports? And I don't. I tried to lie, and so I've been to Freshers Fair the week before, and I'd almost signed up for corfball, and I said, well, I think yeah, you get on a trampoline. And it's like netball on a trampoline. And I seem to get away with that, because although John knows, as a PE teacher, knows a lot about sport, he hadn't been introduced to the likes of corfball. And so when Chris went to the Freshers Fair, some other thing, talks very knowledgeably to the course player. So you're like, right, on the trampoline. And then playing netball, I don't get it. So I think you're a bit misled. Yeah, we didn't.
Does anyone know what corfball is? Basketball. Right. Not on a trampoline.
And no, I did do a bit of rowing, which was a good understanding. Yeah, right. You're not going to get away with it. So I did try.
You have to stop worrying about this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Scores no goals.
thanks for the honeymoon. You're going to really enjoy that. Oh, was it walking? Just filling error on those tickets. And yes, thank you to my lovely mum and dad who helped out enormously and obviously financed the wedding. And mum thought, oh, she's got a bit blind, but she wasn't blind. She wasn't blind for the wedding, but sewing these skirts and sewing these ones and taking this job. So yeah, we were all a bit alike really, and chasing around the house this morning, it was, where's my handbag, where's my hair, where's my veil, where's my shoes? And it was a bit of a performance this morning. We got here, it's all very nice. Being my chief bridesmaid and keeping things together. And Chris has done all the thank you, sir. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks, guys.
I forgot something. I might speak for long enough. I was having a discussion with my gran the other day, and Gran said, wedding is all about sacrifice. So I thought, what could I do? There wasn't any young animals around, I guess. But there's a particular shirt which Gay doesn't like, particularly. I noticed this every time I try to pack it, and I suddenly find it stuffed down behind the radio. That's how it got there out of my bag. So I thought I'd go out and try some pyrotechnics with my grandmother mum, like a bonding session. A wheelbarrow, a lot of white spirit, and my Hawaiian shirt, my beloved Hawaiian shirt. I love that shirt. And I've got a little thing here, you probably won't see it here, but there's a tiny bit of shirt here that's left from the burning. It's a picture of me burning the shirt. Yeah, okay, and this is to Jenny.
Don't worry everyone, before we save the best speech to last. Unfortunately, I've got the order of the speeches wrong. That's me. Okay. Before I start my speech, let's like to thank Chris. You've given me such a long time to prepare my speech. In fact, it's a whole long traumatic year. Before I begin with Chris's cancer assassination, sorry when I mean to say what a great bride this is. I'd like to thank the bridesmaids for performing their roles so well and looking so good throughout the day, despite its intense heat. I must say, it has been a wonderful day, an emotional wedding. Even the cake was in tears. He was born on the 2nd of July, 1975 in Cambridge. And after 4 years, he moved up north to Ormskirk in Lancashire. And at 6, we moved down to Yeovil in Somerset. We first met as youngsters at East Coker Primary School. Good girl. So I should have a good insight into Chris's life so far. Chris was a happy child. Her parents' singing and dancing talent. He made his stage debut at primary school as one of the 7 dwarfs. Guess which one? Yes, Sophie. After sensational reviews, he decided to walk the boards again and scout down. You're probably all thinking, as a natural entertainer, he must have stolen the show. That was until the audition. Immediately after hearing Chris's voice, it was decided for the best interest of the audience. Chris should stand behind everyone, thankfully only singing the chorus, and be dressed in the nurse's outfit. rumour at the time that Chris specifically asked to wear that nurse's Bloody good though. His dancing skills were badly exposed at his 18th birthday party. For some reason, he thought it was a good idea for me and him to do a dance routine. If anyone had seen Chris on the dance floor, you would know this was a mistake. If anyone had seen me on the dance floor, you know this is an even bigger mistake. At the end of the night, we did our little dance routine. We certainly cleared the dance floor. In fact, come to think of it, the pub was pretty empty as well. The next day, I was in denial of what had occurred. Chris didn't take it quite so badly. As he said to me, "Thank God we didn't do that dance line." Why I believe this. After nearly 20 years, we still have a great friendship. Mostly involving our favourite pastime, the pub. I do feel that Chris is the luckiest man alive today, marrying Jenny. Chris was a frequent visitor to the local bars and pubs in Yeovil. But one fateful night, a drunken Chris met Jenny at a renowned Studios nightclub. Chris, being quick with the mark, in a pub the next night. Sounds a good man. Only Chris. In the early